All right, let's go here.
Right here, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, there'll never be a love like this for sure.
He opened my eyes. Yes, he did. Cause I never knew. I never knew. I'm a living witness.
What's up?
Just don't be doing
Like,
this.
it's like it's begging me to. It's like it's begging me to do it.
All right, do intro and then I'll do Monday motivation.
Oh. All right, you guys, welcome to Something to Talk About Monday. Hopefully, all you guys are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and what I said, that's Miss Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
TikTok, that works, because I'm on TikTok right now. Hey, who over there just popped in? I'm on TikTok right now, so all you all just popped up. Hello, it's like you said no face detector. Get out, leave me alone. I'm not going to be right up on the screen keep talking about no face detector. How can you miss this right here? Okay.
Apparently easy.
Okay. So welcome to Something to Talk About Monday. Normally on Monday, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Let me backtrack a little bit. Hopefully you had a great weekend. We're having a great Monday because it's 80 degrees today, so it's warm. It's hot today. So I know Dr. Fite, they're probably already used to 80 degrees, but when we get our first 80 degrees, it's a little jarring, I guess, because we're so used to being wrapped up and freezing. But it's hot today, so now it's 80 degrees.
Always jarring, and the outfits are also jarring.
Oh, they love to break free around here as soon as the weather breaks. It's all TNA when the weather's open. So there you go. No, Dr. That's like no, just no. So that's what we get to look at that the whole weekend. Just all over the place.
Before tonight's show, I done seen belly, boobs, booty,
And can I say this?
Hey, wait a minute. The boobs and the booty send that be the belly somewhere else. Okay.
See that's what I was going to go. I was going to go right to the belly. Some of you all don't realize that you have like that muffin top or a couple of cupcake tops or whatever we want to call it, and all that belly hanging over. That's not cute. That's not cute. See, I understand I'm a chunky woman, so you're never going to see Elle in a half shirt. And if it's a half shirt you see me on, it's because I lost my mind. I forgot. That's never going to happen. Or my shirt shrunk, and I didn't realize it had gotten that short. It's never going to happen.
Or you're fixing something.
Even when I'm have my around the house clothes on, and I have to have a shirt on to cover my butt, even when I'm in the house.
And even for skirts, some of y'all invest in Spanx, please.
Oh yeah,
Just please.
All that gyrating and just that looks really stanky. Dr. Fight, stop. When you just, you're walking across the street, I don't want to see you jiggling north, south, east, and west. I don't want to see all of that. I'm not a fan. Okay.
You don't, but somebody does.
Some just look really stinky. Okay. Some just don't look fresh. All right. So we're gonna enjoy this, the conversation today. We have a lot to cover. So today, normally I start with talk triggers, but today is Briana and Dr. Fite kicks off. They're kicking off today. So because the draft was over the weekend, and there was some interesting turn of events happening at this year's NFL draft. So I'm gonna let these two. I'm gonna let them kick off the show today.
Well, actually, I'm gonna let Dr. Fite.
Okay.
He has his Monday motivation, so I'm gonna go there first. Okay. Then we'll go into the draft. She just threw us out there. I'm like, oh.
I'm telling you, I love getting them out there first. Have mercy. Jeez. But let's go to our Monday motivation first. Hopefully you all sitting. It's not too late. You still have some Monday motivation carried into Tuesday.
Great week, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Monday motivation and prayer. Journey with me, if you will, to John chapter 16, verse number 33. It declares, "These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world." You know that we have a favored outcome. Being in God means that you will overcome. How do I know that? Because we may have failing moments, but we will have victorious moments as well. The word overcome means victory. It's in the perfect present tense of this passage, and it's not one singular victory in the past or even in part of your present, but you have victory from your past in your present, and you will continue to be victorious. See, I am, I have been, and I will overcome. I'll overcome the world because God has overcome the world. And every time Satan comes, God will overcome. Because the truth of the matter is, all we do is win because God fights our battles for us. God is before, beside, and behind us, which means he has covered us. Let me pray with you. Dear Lord, this week, clear the road to my destiny. Take out the garbage in my past. Clean the windows to my soul. Iron me out. Make it better if it's gotta get harder. And promote me to something greater. Amen. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next week if God says to say grace and peace.
All right, don't you just love Dr. Fite's Monday motivation? Halfway through it, I get motivated. I'm just telling you. So hopefully you all will be the rest of the evening. You guys will be motivated and go to bed and wake up and say, "Yeah, I still feel motivated from Monday's motivation." So here I am on Tuesday. All right, Dr. Fite and Briana, let's get ready to talk NFL draft. Now, normally I don't even pay attention to the draft. I had a little commentary this weekend, but I'm gonna let my partners kick it off.
I was shocked. Okay, so of course it was the NFL draft. It started on Thursday. It ended on Saturday. And the big news was Shador Sanders slid all the way to the fifth round, 144th pick overall to the Cleveland Browns, who passed on him twice.
Mm. So
And still didn't look happy drafting him.
So that's why I said. So Dr. Fite can come in, but did they just not want to see him not get drafted? Was it like a pity draft? Dr. Fite, I'm throwing it to you now. Was that like a pity draft to you?
I don't think it's a pity draft. I to be honest with you, he is Shador Sanders is not a generational talent.
Oh,
He is he's a solid quarterback. I think he's in this draft. If I was to rank the quarterbacks in this draft, he would have been number 4 in my book.
if he were to rent the quarterback.
Great.
Oh, rate. Oh, okay.
Rate. If I was to rate the quarterback, he would have been number 4 out of the quarterbacks coming
Would he,
out.
would,
I
would he
had
have been in
him
the first
behind.
round? Would he would have been in the first round?
No.
Okay.
I had him probably late second or third round, not the fifth. But the way things play out, a lot of times teams are drafting by need. Now
Yeah.
I'm hearing all of these conspiracy theories about they didn't, his daddy and all of that. They wanted to talk about his dad. They wanted to talk about um you know he was blackballed and all of this
Mm.
other stuff. I look, this is my thing. Shador got to realize that the NFL is a business, and number one, you can't show up to team interviews. Now, he had a couple of things didn't go well for him before the draft started. He showed up to the combine just for them to take measurements. He didn't run the 40. He didn't pass the ball. He did have a pro day.
Mm.
Um and the pro day, he threw the ball pretty decent. Obviously it was a controlled environment in Colorado, and it was receivers that he had worked with and things he had already practiced. So that really doesn't bode well.
No.
Then you get down to the interviews with head coaches, offensive coordinators, general managers, and different things of different teams that are thinking about drafting you. You show up to meetings late, you show up arrogant, like, you get
Mm.
me, You get me, you got a championship. They want to talk offense, they want to talk plays, they want to
Mhm.
talk defense design, reading at the line of scrimmage. They want to basically ask you some questions, show you some game footage to that they have put it up. And he really was nonchalant about it. And
Right.
that
Oh.
that rubbed a lot of
And,
teams the wrong way.
and then he
Mm.
also too had like entourage when he would show up to these meetings.
Oh.
So
Acting like he was already the big stuff, like
right. So
like his daddy.
right. So a lot of the things. So for him sliding in the draft was some of that was self inflicted.
Mm.
I mean, when you're being drafted into the NFL, it's still a job interview, like any other when you go for a new job. You have to interview. You have to make a good first impression. He didn't.
Oh. So is that why? So I guess Dion was the manager. Is the manager for both his boys? Whether one went undrafted or he went to where did he go?
He went undrafted, and then the Buccaneers signed him.
Yeah.
So who fired? Which one of the boys fired Dion? Which one got fired? Which one fired their dad? Somebody
So
got.
I don't blame Dion for his role in his kid's life. Like, we don't talk about the fact that Archie Manning picked up the phone and called the general manager of the Chargers at the time and told them that you can draft Eli, but he is not showing up to play for you. Like, they ended up trading the pick to the New York Giants, and the Giants picked him. Like, his father was highly involved in his kid's career,
Mm,
Peyton and Eli,
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
nobody
remember
ever said anything about Archie being involved. But as soon as Dion had something to say about different
mhm,
franchises that he don't want his son playing for and stuff like that,
mhm,
like now all of a sudden, oh, he think he run things. No, the difference is he's a black man that's
mm,
involved in his boy's life, and the world is not used to that.
yeah.
mm,
Like, our society is not used to a successful black man who raises his children and is a part of their lives. And when he's vocal, because Dion even said it on the talk show. Dion said, "Look," he said, I'm letting my kids are getting into a league that I was great at."
mhm,
He said, "I got a gold jacket." You know what I'm saying? I'm in the Hall of Fame
mm,
from playing this sport. I know general managers, I know franchises, I know what happens behind the scenes. And if I
mm.
can do something to keep my boys from a toxic environment and from having and setting them up for success, he said, I'd be less of a father if I didn't do that.
What do you think it would have been more beneficial for when they passed those Shador maybe like first, second, third round? Do you think maybe because I kept saying, well, just withdraw his name. That's for me. That's what I would have said. To me, that was more humiliating than him being picked.
Oh,
It was like a
oh,
pity thing. So
oh,
I would have
oh,
said, just take my name out of
oh.
it.
But here's the thing: it got worse before it got better. The defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, his son actually prank called Shador Sanders.
Oh, that's who did that.
Yeah, saying that he was Mickey Loomis, GM for the Saints, and hey, we're gonna draft you. And he did that in the second round.
Yeah, that. I read. That was kind of messed up. That was kind of messed up.
Actually, I couldn't find it, but the video is actually circulating of him having the phone number because he got the number. I guess his dad's work iPad was open,
Uh-huh.
and he got a number to call Shador. And you see him dialing the number, and you hear Shador answering, "Hey, this is," and he's talking like he's the general manager for the Saints, saying, "Hey, we're gonna draft you with our next pick."
Wow, that was kind of messed up. I don't even think that could even be a prank. That was just sad. It was hurtful. It was hurtful.
When you know he's sitting there waiting to hear
Yeah,
his name
yeah,
called.
right, yeah. That's what I said. You watching it day after day, hour after hour, round after round, and nobody's calling your name. So I was, you know what? Forget this. Be a free agent or whatever. I don't know, but hit the teams up yourself. I mean,
been undrafted.
yeah, I would. Yeah, like his brother did.
Yeah,
I would have said that for that. And then I read that you all got me in sports, but I read that they said there's a chance that he won't even start. He won't be a part of the team by the time the season starts because they have what 4 quarterbacks?
No, they have 5.
Oh my
So
God.
they have,
5 quarterbacks.
yeah, they have. So Joe Flacco, who is 40 years old, he went back to Cleveland. Then they still have Deshaun Watson,
Mm.
who they're paying $230 million fully guaranteed to. They have Kenny Pickett. Then they have Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted before Shador out of Oregon. And then they have Shador. Got me, but when you come
See,
out in the fifth
that's
round,
why I call it.
you're like
It's a pity pick.
you're like a practice. You're almost like a practice squad member.
It was a pity pick. I would say I'm sorry. I would not have wanted that. I'm not trying to be ungrateful. And he did come and say he was grateful and thankful for the opportunity. So he said all the right things. But I mean, I would have been like, I don't want that. I mean, that would have been me. I'm sorry. No, I am not sorry. I would have like, I don't want that because maybe it wasn't meant for him to get to show his talents in this way. So I don't know. I just know he's gonna have to work his butt off just to stay with stay there. That's what I think.
Well, going over some other picks, the number one overall pick was Cam Ward from Miami. He went to the Tennessee Titans, number one overall. He's the second. So this was the second straight NFL draft where a black quarterback was taken number one overall. Last year was Caleb Williams. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, they actually moved up to the number two spot from the Cleveland Browns, and they took Travis Hunter from Colorado. So he is the cornerback / wide receiver. So I'm just trying.
Cornerback.
So I'm just trying to see if he's gonna play 100% of the snaps on both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
No, he won't. Now listen, I think the young man is very athletic. He's very talented. He is a generational talent.
Who's his
The,
daddy?
Travis, well, that's a great question. His father was given permission
To be
by
there.
the courts to try. He was on probation, I believe, and he got permission by the court to go watch his son get drafted. And then he had to come back because he's got some legal issues that
Who's
he
the
dealing
daddy?
with.
Travis Hunter Sr.
Well, who he playing for?
He didn't play for nobody.
Nobody. I think he's just a junior.
Oh.
But Travis Hunter was able to do that in first of all in the league that Colorado is in. Uh, I mean, you know, in the NFL, these men are bigger, faster.
Faster.
The windows are shorter. It is harder in the NFL than in college.
You're not gonna get those same open windows to just go run straight up the field. There's going to be a 250 pound to 300 pound tap defensive end trying to take you down. So
So college football is made. Is it a major like shock to those who leave college football and then come into the NFL? Is it like a major shakeup for them?
it's an adjustment period because they don't really play defense in college.
What's your name?
Look at the college game and see how many 80-yard bombs you see being thrown. They don't play defense.
Let's put this in perspective. Ohio State won the national championship. Okay, Ohio State probably in this draft had roughly 20 some odd kids drafted from that national championship team.
Mm-hmm.
That's because Ohio State roster was $22 million that they paid to put that roster together with the talent that they had. Them players were only coming to Ohio State to win the national championship to up their draft stock to be able to be drafted. So the best of the best players want to go to the best programs, make them some money while they in college, and then go pro because they can showcase their talent that way. You got to understand that every team can't do that. When you're in the Big Ten, because the Big Ten and the SEC drafted more players than any other conference. in this year's draft by far. I mean, it was, I don't even know the numbers, but no other conference was close than the SEC and the Big Ten. And so from top to bottom, SEC has it easily six or seven teams that can win the national championship each year. When you're talking about Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia, uh I'm missing a few. Texas A&M, Mississippi State, like it's like South Carolina's in the SEC. Like this conference is a football conference. Now they trash in basketball if you ask me, but it's a football conference. Even though SEC had a good basketball season with Alabama and a couple other teams, but that's neither here nor there. Um, the Big Ten, on the other hand, when you're looking at Ohio State, when you're looking at Michigan, uh, what else? Penn State is in that conference. Maryland, I think, is in that conference. Who else is in that conference? My point is, they're not as strong top to bottom. So NFL is looking at these conference that has NFL ready players
Wait.
on those
Hmm.
teams. Those other teams, I mean, let's be honest with you. It's like it ain't even varsity versus JV. It's like college versus high school or middle school. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when you got programs like this playing against, matter of fact, I don't know if we can find the clip, but I don't know if y'all remember the head coach from Marshall College. He was playing against Ohio State coming up on the weekend.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look, we ain't got the team like Ohio State got. We ain't got the kind of money they got either. But we gonna do the best we can." He knew they were gonna lose going into the game. Why? It's because they got a team that's faster, that's bigger, that's stronger, and you know you don't stand a chance. As a matter of fact, when the end of the season happened, all of the Marshall players entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, they
When the
did.
Oh,
head coach,
I
when
beg
the
to recall
head
that.
coach,
Okay, I
Yeah,
beg to
because
recall
they
that.
trying to up their draft up their draft status, and so yeah. But anyway, so you got that. Travis Hunter is now Jacksonville Jaguar, and Dr. Fight, your Giants. They drafted Abdul Carter, number 3 overall from Penn State, edge rusher. What you think?
so mixed reviews on that one. Look, he was the best player at number three. He by far. I mean, edge rusher, led the nation in tackles for a loss. I mean, Penn State. Penn State has always had a stout defense. He was the anchor for that defense. He is a great talent. The only problem is we got Thibodeau on one side and Burns on the other side. So now you add a rookie that can potentially start for any other team, and you put him on that front four. It's going to be interesting if Thibodeau or Burns moves to the interior of that defense. And I'm telling you, that front four for the New York Giants is reminiscent of the LT days and the
Oh
Shannon
God.
days. Like I'm I'm just like the offense, there's some holes there, but with this defense the Giants got right now, with those three names, Burns, Thibodeau, and now Carter, I don't even know if a quarterback can get 3 steps before they're in the backfield. Like this front four for the New York Football Giants, I think can stop the run and can get to the pass. It has a pass rush that is undeniable for them in this season. So I'm big ups on the defensive side. I'm not sold on offense yet. We'll see.
You not
You
sold
know,
on Jackson Dart?
well, he's not going to start day one anyway. This is Russell Wilson's job to lose. And so to have Jackson Dart learning from a Russell Wilson in that locker room and having that, I think is great for Jackson Dart, for him to learn defense, read defense, and to be a playmaker. And if Russ can be that mentor, he only has a 2-year contract. So obviously Jackson Dart is the future of the franchise. He has reminiscent of some great talent. He played at Ole Miss. The only problem is He didn't play in a pro style offense at Ole Miss. He sat in the shotgun the entire 3 years he played. So it ain't like he can go up to the line of scrimmage and read a defense and then call an audible. And so he's got some learning to do, only because he came from Ole Miss, and we all know that was a pass heavy offense. And in the NFL, you got to run the ball to be successful.
Hmm. So is it safe to say that you're looking for great things from your team this season?
I'm saying that right now we're probably a year or two out from being a Super Bowl contender. We're a lot closer than the Cowboys. I can guarantee you that.
Wow,
Uh,
I thought you would be talking and saying like, no, we might be Super Bowl potential this year.
well, no. So first of all, Isaac McKinney got hurt last year, which was the running back that we drafted that we had high hopes in to replace Saquon, but he got hurt. So we had a
Hmm.
horrible running game. We drafted another running back this draft, which is a no name. So, we're just trying to create depth, but a lot of these players are unproven at this point. And
Hmm.
being an unproven roster right now, I mean, we got some stars on offense. The elite neighbors we drafted last year has proven to be a star, and now you pair him with a Russell Wilson that's able to make that connection and actually pass him the football.
Hmm.
I mean, but you can't have just one wide receiver. So we drafted a wide receiver, drafted a tight end, drafted an offensive tackle to be able to protect Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So these are it's unproven right now. I told somebody on another show, on a sports show that I do, I told him, I said, listen, I feel like the New York Giants they got a bunch of kids from the transfer portal that got some talent, but we just don't know how it's all gonna work out till they get out
Oh,
on the
okay.
field and figure it out. Like we got some talent here and there. We just don't know how it's gonna come together right now. So it's unproven, and it's up to the coach. I mean, this is the year that's gonna make or break Brian Dayball. We ended the year. We won games last year at the end of the season that I figured we should have lost, take the season in order to get the number one pick. But we didn't. We didn't tank the season. They were still playing to win, and they won like the last two or three games of the season and dropped from the number one pick to the number three pick. Like, and I'm like, where was this team at the entire season? But it took a while for the team to come together, and I think this team is not going to really come together till about week 5 or week 6. Even after going through a training camp together, only because you can't simulate other team schemes the way you can once you get on the football field. So, the Cowboys are going backwards. Obviously, Philly is the champs, and they are until you beat them. And Washington has
What
gotten
you said,
better.
Cowboys going backwards. They've been backwards. How far can they go?
No, they
Well,
have
I
to go
mean,
all the way
they
back.
let D Lawrence go. He's gone on that front four. Only one you got now is Micah Parsons, which is going to make offenses double team him more because you ain't got no other threat on that front line. I think the Eagles had a fantastic draft. They drafted Will Campbell, the cornerback that was the number one quarterback. I don't know how he slid all the way to the last pick of the first round. They was able to get the best corner in the draft. So they solidified that secondary on their defense. So that I mean, and they got Saquon and Jalen Hurst on offense, and the tush push hasn't been banned. So
What's the tush push?
Where it's like the whole offensive line pushes the quarterback.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. You not have to ask these questions.
I'm not saying you couldn't ask. I'm
Okay.
just saying it.
Oh,
yeah, so the tush
Sticky.
push came up to be banned over in the spring meetings with the owners, but it was basically split. You had some owners that wanted to ban it and some owners that wanted to keep it. And my thing is, look, this is the NFL. I don't believe in banning plays because no play gives a team an added advantage. You as a defense
Just
gotta
don't
stop
need to
it.
stop.
You just
And
gotta stop.
mind you, the team that brought up this proposal to ban the tush push was the Green Bay Packers, who got beat by the Eagles. Stop crying foul. Up
You
your
sore
defense,
losers.
up your defense so that you can stop it. Period.
All right.
Speaking of the Eagles, they were at the White House for whatever reason today.
Well,
No,
Jalen Hurst wasn't there.
no, notably, notably, because I just said because I said they asked Jalen Hurts if he was going to go when he was at the Times 100, and all he did was smirk and walk off, and he was not there along with AJ Brown. Devontae Smith was not there, and pretty much all of the defense was not there.
My point would be, as you know, what people want to say, well, it's I guess it's traditional, whatever, to go to the White House. But when you have somebody in there that's as contaminated as that man, why would I want to be in that space? I wouldn't want to be in that space.
Here's the thing. I don't make a big deal about them players not going to the White House. It's
Uh-huh.
first of all, it's the off season. They do whatever they want to do.
Right.
It's not mandatory to go.
Hmm.
And I blame, if there's anybody to blame about players not going to the White House and we want to put blame, I put blame on Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady uh politicized going to the White House. He went conveniently, he went to the White House when George Bush was in office. But the
Yeah.
two times they won the championship when Barack Obama was in office, he
They never
conveniently
went.
didn't go.
Oh. Mhm.
So it obviously was political on why he did go or didn't go. It wasn't political up until that point. He
Wow. I
hopscotched
didn't
and
know
picked and
that.
People would
choose.
just go and they would just go. But yeah, I forgot
Right.
Tom Brady. He did. Yeah, like yeah, when
The
President
two
Obama,
times they
he didn't
won the
go.
championship when Barack was president over the 8 years, he didn't go either time. But when George Bush was president and they won, he went.
Oh well, he did make it political. Yep, he
Yep.
did
It
make
was
it political.
political. And
Uh-huh.
so now every team that goes, depending on who's the president, will determine if they're going to go or not. Because they don't want it to be a sign that they're supporting that president. But
Right.
this is not political. It's just it's customary between the major leagues,
Yeah.
as well as some colleges. Like Barack invited college champions, the basketball college champion, both men and women, to the White House to celebrate their championship. He invited USA teams who came home with the gold. He
Hmm.
invited them to the White House to celebrate their gold medals. Like he did a lot of inviting. Now, most presidents only invite like the hockey league, the NHL champion, the baseball champion, Major League Baseball champion, and the
Hmm.
basketball champs and football champs. So the four major leagues, that's customary for every president to typically issue an invitation for a
Hmm.
photo op
Hmm.
Mhm.
with the trophy, with the president and vice president.
And
And
You know.
and I think too why the Eagles went this time is because when they won the championship back in 2017 or 18, they were supposed to go, but he disinvited them because a lot of players weren't going to go because of the social injustice that was going on. So a lot of them didn't go then. So I guess that's why they felt to go. But the owner Jeffrey Lurie, he came out and he said it was completely optional for the players if they wanted to come. If they didn't, it was no big deal. And he's the owner of the field, and he came out and said that. So
Well, I would say that. So when somebody is as toxic,
repulsive
yeah,
as
as that
him.
man, I just don't want to even be in that same space. So I get why they didn't go. Cool, they didn't go.
what team was at the White House where JD Vance dropped the trophy?
Ohio State.
Okay, yeah.
Like he dropped that bad boy. Boop. I was like, and conveniently he wasn't there today. So
They weren't gonna let him touch break it up. But I mean, when you look at his whole situation, I mean, there was a photo circulating on social media with him and his wife. I mean, I think I posted it too. They are some miserable, unhappy people.
yeah,
They are past the point of misery. Some got to give over there on that in that
that's
corner.
gonna be a divorce. That's got
Yes,
to be.
yes, some got to give on that corner. All right, is that it for you all for your sports?
I mean, we can do
Well, let
it.
me just say this before we move
Go
on from
ahead.
sports. Let's go to basketball real quick.
Oh,
NBA is in the playoffs,
I said
and
the leg is about to be out.
so question that was raised this morning on ESPN: who was at fault for the loss last night? The Lakers lost last night, and Big Perk said Big Perk said JJ Redick is to blame
Who is JJ
for
Red?
The head
he's
coach.
the head coach.
Oh, okay.
Because he played all 5 of his starters the whole second half.
Second half.
No
Now,
substitutions.
most people would say this is not a big deal. College basketball does it all the time. They play the same 5 or 6 players the entire game. But let's be honest. College, these kids are from 18 to 22, 23 years old. LeBron James is 40.
Yeah,
40.
yeah.
Now, look, I'm about to be 44. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I ain't doing nothing for 30 minutes without no breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like, coach, we got to take a break. You know what I'm saying? These TV timeouts ain't enough. I need, like, 2 or 3 timeouts to sit me down for about 5, 10 minutes at a time. Like, I ain't built to be out here running up and
And
down
then,
this court after
and,
Right,
and,
Anthony
with
Edwards
the
all
20
game.
something year old. Yeah,
right,
that's a lot.
and
That's
then
a
here's
lot.
and then here's the thing. But then you want LeBron to do all this on the defensive end, and he was. I will give him credit. He was guarding Ant-Man. He was going to Julius Randle. Like the man is already defending. Then you got him playing like the whole second half with no break. And you all only had like 36 hours between game 3 and game 4.
Mm.
So like, you didn't even have a full 2 day rest. You had like 36 hours.
I just you said the man is 40, but you know what?
The
I'm
man
not
is
cheering for the Lakers anyway. So when they get the boot, okay, bye. See you later.
They should have never hired JJ Redick to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He
Why?
had no coaching experience
Oh,
right.
that's
at
right. That's
all.
He's a
right.
He
rookie.
ain't
Oh,
Like the
that's
only
right.
the
he
only
ain't
thing he
coached
did
a high school team. He ain't
that
coached the middle school
yeah.
team. He ain't done nothing but he did have a pretty decent
Well, hell, I could have been
NBA
coach. That.
career
They could
as
have
a
paid me.
player. But
They
your
could
Or
have. They could.
first
They could have
ever
paid me.
head coaching job is with the Los Angeles Showtime Lakers.
like this
Oh,
is like
they could have paid me. They could pay
this,
me
this
half the cash, and I
this
could
is
just go
like this
coach
is
them.
like Steve Nash all over when Steve Nash got hired for the Brooklyn Nets and they had Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and then they eventually got James Harden. Like and
But
everybody
wasn't this? What is LeBron's picked up to be the head coach?
because it was his podcast partner.
Oh,
Him and
okay.
LeBron had a podcast called Mind the Game. And so now he's doing Mind the Game. Now he's doing it with Steve Nash. So what you gonna do? Get JJ fired and then bring in Steve Nash? What?
JJ ain't going nowhere. It's just they got to go through the growing pains with JJ Redick. What JJ Redick need to do is hire Coach K, his college coach, to
As
mentor him on
right.
how to manage a basketball game. Because I don't care at what level you are coaching, you don't play the same 5 players
The
the
whole
entire second half of
second
the game,
Well,
that
especially
and
when
I'm
you
sure.
got
I'm sure.
millions of dollars on the bench
But I'm saying, I'm sure the thinking was that we need to win this game,
and
so
see,
we need to have
and you
all our best
lost
players out there,
and see that's what
and they
what
still lost.
they still
and
lost.
lost.
And what made it worse is that they had a 9 point lead and they had a 10 point lead. Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, that 23 years old, he had 43 points.
Oh, the 3 of them. They couldn't
43.
stop. They couldn't stop Michael Jordan Jr. They couldn't stop Michael
He's
No,
Jordan
he's
Jr.
no. He's really Michael Jordan Jr. You got to watch him play.
I
Like when they
ain't
play,
nobody convince me that's not Michael Jordan's son. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm not gonna
I
watch
don't
him
know who
because
Ant-Man
I love me
Daddy
some
is,
Michael Jordan back in the day.
I mean,
but that's Michael Jordan.
when I say he got the mid range, the highlight reel, he got the 3 point. I mean, he has everything, and he
And the
puts it.
confidence.
And
Oh
he
my God.
right like no kid, no seriously. He walks up on LeBron. He tell LeBron about himself. He will walk up on like the veterans in this game. He has no chill whatsoever. Like last year, he took. Think about last in just maybe 18 months, if he plays this right, he will. Last year, he took out Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and the Phoenix Suns. Then he turned around, he took out Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, the Denver Nuggets. Now he's got a chance to take out Luka and LeBron in LA on their own home court.
Do any of us think that they're gonna cut that they're gonna win what 3 games straight
Oh,
or 4 games? Look at
that's
Dr.
big.
Mike.
That's big.
Ain't no way.
That's
They
big.
matter of fact, you might as well, TNT does this thing when you lose the series, they
Gone
got the
fishing.
players gone fishing on the boat. You might as well start getting that graphic ready. Like
Yeah, yeah, they
warm the
do.
boat up, get the worms, the crickets, whatever you fishing with, go on and get them on the hook. Cause stick a fork in them, they are done.
Done.
Done. So you
Did
know
y'all see Bubba Dub? Y'all see Bubba Dub after the game?
Oh yeah, so yeah.
what happened?
You know what?
Oh God.
I gotta tell
He's
you
a
what.
Laker fan. Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta show her that clip.
yeah.
He was hot.
He was a what the? He was coming it. But
He was hot.
Well, what happened to because Luke what the one from what they was he has been doing so well when he since he
Wait,
came to like
well,
Luca.
game 3 he had the flu, and then the other issue is Luca can't play defense. I mean, they are blowing past Luca like this.
And Luca just out of shape.
It's not something. No, Luca just don't play defense. You just have some players that are just more scorers than defense.
And that's what he is. He's just a scorer.
He's more like scorer than defense. But I'm just saying, you when
But
they play game,
that's why Dallas
I'm
wanted to get rid of him because
yeah,
he was out of shape and he couldn't move his feet. He couldn't
yeah,
play defense.
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, when they play game 5, I think they play Wednesday. I think it'll be on TNT. I'm gonna take turn on and watch Anthony Edwards.
Well, maybe, and I think they back in LA or
They're back in LA, and when
well, they might not let them win one or another one on
they can want they can want that they want to, but I'm watching Anthony Edwards. He like they call him. He is a shark in blood infested waters, and
I'm
the
telling you.
like he don't like he'll if they don't win, he don't care if they go back to Minnesota and win Minnesota, but he wants to win in LA because he wants to make them miserable for the whole off season. That's
Anthony
what he wants.
Edwards. Anthony Edwards, when they had the USA Olympic team and he walked into practice, they was like asking him questions like, well, how does it feel playing behind these stars? He said, playing behind. He said, they're gonna play playing with me.
Yeah, yeah. Like like the confidence he don't care 20 year back 15 I'm taking you out he like and he'll say he's like I love him he's like LeBron's like my big brother but he got to go home. He said that last night. He said LeBron is my big brother. We got close playing in the Olympics, but he's going home.
Well, in order to be in the NBA, you have to have that kind of confidence.
And
I mean,
told him
you have to.
and told him to his face. Kevin Durant is his idol, and he told Kevin Durant, "You're going home." Last year, he told that to Kevin
Hey,
Durant.
you know what? I like that.
And
I like it.
that was it. They can say if they want to, but Michael just didn't know. But that's Michael Jordan Jr.
I'm
I,
telling you, I don't know which one of them women Mike slept with while he was on the road, but that's his son.
You all need to stop that. Do they favor? Do they favor? Do they look like Dr. Fight?
Oh yeah, they favor.
Oh, okay. Well, we shall see. Um, you know, we shall see what's happening with and what's my Golden State doing? They getting ready to win.
they up 2-1. They actually play tonight. I think
Or they have 2-1. Where they playing at? Are they home?
they're at home.
Okay, well they need to win at home tonight.
So
Come on, GSW. Let me play with my emotions.
The Memphis Grizzlies they just got put out their misery. The Thunder just finished them off.
Mm.
So they have swept. So they're sitting right now. The Clippers Nuggets that is all tied at 2 games apiece. That may very well go 7.
Yeah.
The Clippers and the Nuggets.
That's going 7.
Hmm.
Well, that's be a good series then.
Oh, it's going because how the Nuggets won this last game on a putback dunk at the buzzer by Aaron Gordon.
What the hell is a putback dunk? What is that?
Just the win.
Somebody missed the shot and
And
Gordon
he hit.
grabbed it and dunked it
And he just went.
Okay. Oh,
as the
okay.
time was expiring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that was a pretty shot then. Okay.
and it was at the Clippers' new dome, so he silenced the crowd. Like the crowd was just stunned. They were like, "What?"
Okay, so who? Okay, if Golden State wins that series, who's on the deck for them next?
The Timberwolves.
Mm.
Do you see what I mean? That Anthony Edwards has a chance to take out Luca, LeBron, and
And Steph.
Steph.
Oh, oh, that's gonna be
Oh, the
ugly.
man is cementing himself as the Dragon Slayer. Like,
Right. And they want him. And the crazy part, they want him to be the face of the league. And he straight up told them, "Nope, I don't want it."
Wow. What's the face of the league? What they have to do? Be on.
Like LeBron. Like you
When was he?
he's been the face of the league, but you know how you had Jordan and not, and those
Uh,
are your
but
big
see, one thing I like about Anthony Edwards is he's not associating himself with other stars to ascend to a championship.
mm,
he's doing his
Teams
thing.
are coming to play with him.
Yeah.
And it's like because he had Carl Anthony Towns last year, and Carl Anthony Towns was like, Minnesota hadn't won a home game, playoff game in over 20 years, and Anthony Edwards looked over at him and said, "Man, you can miss me with all that. I'm here now."
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Well, he oozes like he is unapologetically himself, and he does not care if you don't like him. But that's what makes you like him because he is who he is.
Well, you got to realize too. He's 23 and young. I mean, some of that bravado, he'll just kind of polish himself up so that he's not so blunt and just
No,
so rude. So over the years, I think over the years in the NBA, he's gonna clean up a
no,
little bit.
no, he ain't.
I mean, he still won't become apologetic, but still he'll just be able to just fine tune himself like a fine wine. Like, you know what, you all know what I do. I've shown who I
Yeah,
am.
yeah.
Let's just roll with it.
I mean, but
Now, what team he playing for?
he plays for Minnesota.
And do we think he's ever gonna leave Minnesota
He might, but
to go to some of those bigger name teams like the Lakers?
he not doing the super team. I can tell you that much. He may decide later he ain't doing no super team.
Okay.
Not right now.
All
But
right.
yeah, but yeah, I think all of the first round matches are pretty much gonna be over because Indiana is up 3-1 on the Bucks.
Yeah, Milwaukee. That sounds y'all in the Pacers. Oh wow.
No. It got worse because Dame ruptured his Achilles last night.
Oh.
He had a blood clot
Mm.
in his right calf. And he was out and he made remarkable progress to come back to help his team. And then he ruptured his left one last night.
Oh.
And you knew it happened because non-contact, he just fell down. He just sat there. He like, I can't get up.
Oh wow.
Like his teammates had to physically lift him off the ground and carry him to the locker room.
So who playing tonight? Steph playing tonight?
Yeah, I think Steph is playing. I don't know who. I know some other teams playing. 'Cause they play Saturdays. I know they're playing tonight. I don't know who else plays tonight. The Knicks are up 3-1 on the Pistons.
Well, the Pistons are trying to become relevant again. I gotta give them credit for that.
Hey, they ain't been
They-
relevant
they-
since the bad boy Pistons.
Right. So they're trying to become relevant again. So let's give them an A for effort because they're trying.
Yeah, Miami, the Heat are about to get swept by the
Mm,
Cavaliers.
mm, okay.
That's because you got rid of playoff Jimmy.
Okay.
Y'all about to go home and Jimmy's still in the playoffs. But yeah, the Lakers are done. The Lakers are cooked.
They just don't want to go out too bad. So they might try to win maybe another one or two more games before it's all
They ain't one or two. No, they
over.
are cooked. You hear me? Cooked.
All right. Well, there you all have it. There, Brianna and Dr. Fite. There, she said, in the sports. They got theirs up. They got theirs up and out of the way early today.
I'm free. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. You couldn't start the show off without talking about the NFL draft and all the drama that I'm surrounded.
You shocked me because you actually watched the draft. I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah. And before we go off totally off sports, we gotta jump in here by our Shannon Sharp because Shannon's part of the sports world. So over the weekend, Shannon just be doing the most. Now I'm glad that he
Come
pulled.
on now, y'all gonna leave Uncle alone now.
I was kind of as the stuff unfolded, I was like, I'm on Dr. Fight's side a little bit. But Shannon, I like Shannon. I do. But Shannon, you've been doing the most. I didn't know about the deal that who was that ESPN had to pay, or who was it? Some Fox Sports or somebody.
That was you talking about CBS.
Right, but they had to pay somebody $10 million because he had done something back then. So I'm not. I'm supporting Shannon, but Shannon, you need to stop going with the OnlyFans people. I mean, you Shannon, you're a granddaddy. You're almost 60 years of age. Stay off the OnlyFans people and get women your own age. Okay, because when them young girls hit on you, you got to know it's strictly for a come up. You got to know that. That ain't cool. Stop that. That's not cool. So Shannon, I love you. I do. And I'm gonna try to support you, but I'm gonna need you not. And I'm almost positive he probably deleted his OnlyFans page or whatever. I'm almost positive he did that, and he should have because you've been doing a lot. You've been doing a lot, Shan. Now, do any of us think that because he said he took some time away from ESPN? Do any of us think he's gonna go back to ESPN?
Oh, yeah, he's going back to ESPN.
You think so?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talking weekend and they said I think he's done at ESPN.
Nah, he going back because he about to make that money. Let me tell you something. First of all, this little girl ain't getting a penny from Shannon Sharp. Okay, once this is gone and this is go away, he gonna be back. Now Shannon need to understand something. I disagree with Elle about the young girls. Now you know Shannon like them young. He don't like them with too many miles on them. He like them young. So, but I will tell you something. Leave them white women alone, man. Look, man. Look,
Okay, Jamie.
there ain't there ain't a football, basketball player alive right now that can testify to you that's been a good choice. Now look,
Look,
OJ messed with him, you know, Jim Brown, like all of them got some sorry
look,
stories about
look,
messing with these white
look,
women. Now you
look,
got to
hey,
leave
look,
them white
Russ,
women alone. Now.
look, look, Russell, Russell, he had one. Russell Wilson, he had one. He got rid of her, and he signed his big deal. He said, "Oh, you got to go."
And look, ever since he had Sierra, ain't nothing went wrong in his life. I'm here to tell you. Now he ain't been in no more Super Bowl, but I'm just saying, he ain't in the tabloids.
He happy. He got
Oh,
his kids. He got his wife. He all good. Had the little mess around in college. Yeah, he got rid of her. They're married
But
2 years. He got
here's what I'm only gonna be on. Getting on Shannon's case because Shannon, she's 23. She's younger than your children, so you should have
calm
never.
down
You
with
should
the
have never
calm
touched
down with
that.
the age. Listen. She legal. You know what I'm saying?
Barely,
Let's not
barely,
focus
got
on.
you. Barely.
Hey, look, man want what the man want. Okay,
Shannon,
he
he
don't
just tell
want
me what you
nothing with the hydraulics done passed out on it. You know what I'm saying?
want.
He want something fresh off the factory line. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
The man,
I'm wondering how old was How old is Michelle?
I don't know. I ain't seen no pictures of Michelle, but Michelle had that man needing an asthma pump. You hear me? Ugh, ugh,
Yeah.
that's my
I thought the
Michelle.
man was gonna. Yeah.
I'm shit. Like what?
Yeah, I thought the
Oh,
man was
that's
gonna
my
pass out on
Michelle.
her.
That
What?
man needed an asthma pump. I don't know if Michelle white, black, Asian. I don't know what Michelle is, but hey, whatever she got. And she famous now. You know she ain't going to court. She ain't suing no Shannon.
Michelle was
Listen,
working his
this
ass.
little girl. And then the thing that pisses me off about this lawsuit with this little girl, she talking about a consensual relationship. How you suing somebody for a consensual relationship? Change the language.
That yeah.
Well, I guess it was the threatening that she so called said he did,
But they
the
show
choking or something.
but they showed text message. She have to text me. I want you to put a big old black baby in me and all this stuff. That
Oh wow, is that what she said?
I read the text message.
Oh,
Yeah, she
oh.
want it. She want it. And that's what Shannon Sharp said in his statement. He said the guy that's putting her up to this is always trying to take down black male athletes and black male professionals.
Yeah.
But okay, when she said put a black baby in me, he should have been turned off with that just from that part.
Hey, listen.
That
Let me
that
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Nah,
So it wasn't all bad. You want him to
I
do that.
I tell my wife all the time, let me put a baby in. And I know it ain't possible. It ain't about because I got a vasectomy. So I know it ain't possible. But it don't stop me from saying, hey,
Okay,
let
so
me at
what?
least try. You know what I mean? Look, I ain't knocking that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Shannon can't have no babies. I am pretty sure of that. But he gonna let this little girl think he can.
You know what? Listen, Dr. Fight,
Huh?
there's a difference. You married. This girl is what 40 years, 30 years, his junior.
But look what Anthony Edwards did. He gave that girl $1 million to go
Yeah,
away.
yeah, cause he had a baby. He got a girl pregnant, and
He
so he
wrote a
went.
eight. He wrote an
Yeah,
18-year check,
shit, yeah. He paid his child support up front for 18 years. Don't and say he won't see the baby. Don't ask him for nothing.
Well, who's
and that's
Anthony
all.
Edwards?
And
Man,
Oh, Ant Man.
man,
Oh,
the
that's it.
next Mike, the
Oh,
next coming to Michael Jordan.
yeah, he went to court. The judge said, "Well, you have to pay as much child support." He said, "Well, can I write a check for the full 18 years?" And he did.
wow. Okay, wait. Was the mama white or black?
Black.
But
But he wrote the check for 18 years. They said, "Do you want visitation?" He said, "No." He wrote the check.
Wow. Wow.
I was
wrote
like,
the check.
Wow.
"Hey, look."
Wow.
At least he said, "I ain't got to see it," but he said, "I ain't gonna be no deadbeat. I'm gonna give you the money for it."
But later on, when the child grow up, the child gonna be like, "You couldn't visit me. You couldn't do none of that. You just wrote the check." But I get it. He's like, he's got. I gotta focus on my game. I gotta do other things. So okay, but
Look,
that was a little cold though.
yeah,
Damn.
he went to court. He said, "Can I
Hey,
pay my
hold on,
child?"
I'll be right back.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, he went to court, and the judge said, "Well, you have to
Was
pay."
this a high school sweetheart or something?
No, some chick he met. They slept together. She got pregnant.
Damn.
Because at first he said he wanted the daddy. And I think that
Did the DNA test?
yeah, he did, but they said he tried to be his daddy. And so they said, so the judge said, "Well, you have to pay X amount of child support." He said, "Okay, can I write the check now for 18 years?" And the judge said, "The full 18 years?" He said, "Yeah." And so he, because I think I don't know how much he has, but he wrote her a check for $2 million and told him don't contact him no more.
Oh, he worked for $2 million.
Yeah, cause however much the child support pay, he wrote it, but yeah, he wrote those checks.
Well, you know what? I ain't even mad at that.
But
What she can never say is that he didn't take care of his child.
Right.
Now, if the mama screw off the money, that's on her. Because
Yeah.
the man, he paid to have his child taken care of very well.
Yeah. I mean, he do more than what somebody do now. They only pay that child support.
Right.
He prepaid his.
Yeah. That was it. If the mama go through all of that money and that child don't get through college or whatever, that's on her. That's on her.
He
And that's what he said. So if the child come and say, "You didn't do anything for me," he's like, "Hold on, son.
I gave you.
Son, daughter, whatever it is, hold on."
Little girl.
We can say, hold on, sweetheart. Yeah. Talk to your mama about that.
And that's another thing. The man, he signed a $200+ million, and he played like he broke.
He played. Well, you know what? He's 23, and he's like, he in his mind, he has an agenda. He's like, I want to. He said, I want to be. So maybe he's like, I want to be the next, the new Michael Jordan. Maybe that's his whole goal. So he's like, I got to be able to focus and concentrate.
He prepaid. That was the first thing. He prepaid his child support.
You know what? One thing should never ever say that your daddy's a deadbeat. Now him not seeing the little girl, that's probably gonna become an issue. But I'm sure as she gets older, that he'll probably change his mind about that.
Right.
But right now he's like, I'm focusing on my games and the things I want to accomplish. So I can't even be mad about. You wrote a $2 million check. Okay, you can't call the man a loser. You can't say any of that stuff. So okay, I mean
What you talking about?
still talking about the $2 million man who wrote the check.
Oh, Ant-Man.
Yeah. I'm not mad at him. I'm not. Go ahead.
Hey, he the truth. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Hey, granted, I think a father should be in his child's life.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So on a personal note, I don't like the fact that he don't want to be a part of his kid's life. I mean, that's between him and that young lady. But when it comes to him as a basketball player, hey, the man
Like I
is
said, I get that. I hope he changed his mind about being in his child's life as the child gets older or he gets a little more mature, then maybe he'll say, I want to see my child, and whatever. So hopefully he'll do that. Because I think you should be, and that's something he don't want to grow up and regret and saying, if his mama grow up and marry somebody else, and then this man's calling is saying that this is his daughter, and all I'm saying is, mama,
Well,
don't mess up the $2 million. I'm telling you, that money for your child. Don't mess up that
well,
child's future.
listen.
She got. I mean, Ant Man got a better chance of having this baby for himself than trusting her with it. I'm saying she not the brightest bulb on this Christmas tree here.
Okay. Oh, she one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Which is that turn why he gave her the money, told him to leave me alone.
well, he might end up with the child anyway. Then if
Yeah,
she's not doing right by the kid anyway, he's probably gonna end up with the kid anyway. But by the time that child's probably like school age, I'm pretty sure because she'll probably be going through that $2 million, and they'll be telling him, you need to come see about your child. Yeah, because he can write that check all he wants to, but he ain't done with that. He ain't done with that situation.
Not my own.
Yeah. He just got a break, but he's not done with that situation. Not even a little bit.
That's what you call a trick.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, by the time this girl turned teenager, he gonna be retired. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
I
know that
mean,
he on
he's
the
gonna have a
LeBron
name
James
for him.
plan.
No, because what Mike retired from the NBA, and how old was Mike?
30 something.
Yeah, he was in his 30s. I know.
No,
Yeah, Mike,
LeBron James the only person that's playing this
and
long. This ain't ever
he was gonna
happening
sit his old
again.
tail down.
And,
Don't
and,
sit your old tail down,
and my
LeBron.
thing is, you have played 7 more years longer than Jordan and got one title to show for it.
How old was Kareem when he retired?
He was pretty old too.
That was Kareem was he was past 40, I believe.
Yeah, I think he was up there too. Bron
But what I'm
is
saying is not the age of that LeBron is, but the length that he's played is what I'm saying. This won't happen ever again. Like,
no.
because first of all, you can't enter into the NBA draft without being 1 year removed from high school. So, players
And see,
he went into the league at 18, 17, 18 years old.
and that was the
And
thing too. Wasn't he like the last? Wasn't that like the last draft class
it
that
was
could
one of the last draft classes. I don't know if it was
do
the last, but
that
I
could do
mean
the straight out of high school?
him. There's a handful of high school players that went straight to the NBA that had a successful career. I think him, Kevin Garnett,
Mm,
Kobe.
Kobe, and that's probably about it.
mm.
I mean, Kobe had 5 NBA championships. I mean, what, 4 MVPs?
Yeah.
Led many scoring titles. Kobe had probably one of the most successful careers. Kevin Garnett never won a championship, but league MVP, I think 2 or 3
He won a
times.
title with Boston.
Um, that is right. That is right. I'm thinking Minnesota. That's right. He did go to Boston near the end with
Mhm.
Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, and they won that championship. That's right. And they beat the Lakers,
Yeah,
ironically.
they did.
I remember that. I remember I was working for this company, ACS, I think at the time when they won that championship years ago. Because my team lead was a Boston fan, and the another team in a different division, he was the other team lead over there was a Lakers fan, and they had a little bet wager going that the team that won, you had to wear the other team person's jersey, so to work. Yes, I remember when that happened.
Well, I got a couple more topics I'm gonna get to. This is one of my favorite. One, not my favorite, but on was it Thursday, Friday? George Santos was sentenced to 7 years. He going behind bars.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I said. I of course I don't approve what he did, but what more did he do that the one sitting in Oval Office did? And he's sitting in Oval Office.
Because the one over
And one's hiding behind the presidential
Well,
seat.
okay, valid point.
and the fact that
I mean, I, look, I don't agree with anything Donald Trump has done, but what I will say is, as a country, we don't need any more embarrassment of our president being arrested. I
Oh
mean,
no,
even when you
oh,
look at Nixon, they
that's what you
gave
and I
Nixon the
disagree.
respect.
I can't wait till they walk in that White House and put the handcuffs on him. I'm looking forward to that day.
No, I
Oh,
am not.
I am.
I'm
Oh, I
not.
am. Oh,
We lose all bargaining chips and everything
not to
worldwide.
fight.
We can't afford. We already his antics already has diminished our name
Right,
as
right, exactly. So you know
Americans.
what? Look at the buffoonery that we deal with. He went over to the Pope to Pope Francis' funeral with a royal blue suit on. Everybody else had on black. This fool, and then not only was he sitting there, he sat there and fell asleep. Okay, so I mean, how much more embarrassing
He
can it be?
old. What do you expect? I mean, what 80-year-old man stays awake all day?
Right,
I mean, come on, let's be honest
right.
with you. You falling asleep at the dinner table. Like, I mean, he old. We elected an old man. You
Stop
talking about
saying
he fell asleep at the
we
funeral?
didn't, we did
I
not.
think so.
24.9%
Right.
elected
Let's
that
not say
freaking.
we 24.9% elected that fool. We didn't. But you sitting out there, that's what I'm saying. Even Melania had on a black dress. He had on a royal blue suit. Everybody else standing around him. Because I watched the funeral. Everyone else around him had on black attire. This fool is sitting there.
That's because he hired some little young girl out of college because nobody else will work for him.
Now I'm all agree that he get all them stupid young girls, and then when stuff go to get too hot, they're like, "What did I do? What did I do?" Because that's that dumb one on the View. That's that dumb one on the View. Yeah, yeah.
But when is Hexus gonna get fired? Somebody help me out.
Right. Yeah. When is Hexeth going to get Hexeth and Kennedy? Those two
are the most useless. Good Lord.
Well, they're all pretty useless.
They're the worst.
Yeah, but Hexeth is drunk every day of his life. You can't tell me that man don't wake up and he ain't drunk. He drunk the night before, and when he wake up, he just finished adding to it for the next day. So yeah, I'm wondering when they're gonna fire him too. Trump is not gonna fire him. He'll have to quit. The humiliation will have to get so bad for Hexeth that he'll have no choice but to quit. Okay. And my next, when is Rubio gonna quit? Because he gonna quit. Rubio is going to resign because he see all this going on. And as much as I dislike him, I think he still has somewhat of a conscience. And so I think he sees the crap that they're doing, and I eventually he's going to retire. He's going to resign. They ain't gonna have to force him. He's just gonna quit, and then you'll never hear from Rubio again because the Trump will be the done him in. That's what's gonna happen there.
That's what happened to all of them.
That's what happened to all of them. Exactly right. They quit, and then they you never heard from them. They never hear from any of them again because
Well, see, like in Obama's first term, he appointed Hillary Clinton as Secretary
right.
of State. Hillary only resigned or gave up her position because she wanted to prepare herself and get ready, fundraise, hit the
Yeah.
road to run for president
Mm-hmm.
herself. Right? So most of these politicians that get into these positions have political aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
But what Donald Trump, in a genius kind of way, is he
Oh.
picked people who don't have any other options in the political landscape to serve in these high power positions. So it's not like they're going to step down, give it up, or go anywhere because what else am I going to do if I ain't doing this?
Well,
They have no other choice. They can't go back to be their state representative in any kind of way. Not gonna,
well,
nobody's
now
gonna
you
vote
know
for them after this.
I'm gonna give it to you that because you're probably right because who would hire Hexeth? You're right. So who would hire him? I mean, really, that bumbling idiot drunk. I mean, really, who would? And then Robert Kennedy, that. Oh my God, I don't even know how your family can stand you.
I'm just saying he has diminished the Kennedy name.
Oh yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, yeah. But the family disowned him anyway. The family disowned him. They don't even talk about him. He's the family joke. Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to when Hex says what they might find he who was the Kennedy that was that killed that woman in the drunken driving incident and drove off in the water. Which Kennedy
I
was
don't, I
that?
don't, I don't, I don't recall the
But you know
name.
who I'm talking about, though, right?
I remember
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
story.
So Hex is probably gonna repeat something like that. Yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of time with that situation. So and then over the weekend, Cory Booker and Hakeem Jeffries they took to the Capitol steps and they held a live stream and they started at 6 a.m. Sunday morning and they went on for about 12 hours to 6 p.m. And did you have to catch any of it, Dr. Fight?
No, on Sundays I actually am
I
employed. You know what I'm
I,
saying? Like,
I know, Dr.
yeah.
Well, you know,
So
it was really interesting because the first I was like, what are they doing? I said live stream because I got the notification. I was like, who is this? And so I said, what are they doing out there? So they at first they started, it was just the two of them sitting on the steps talking about everything that was going on in the country. And then as the day drew on, it was more people coming out there. It was more people from the Senate and the Congress came out there and they was talking about the thing that Donald Trump is trying to pass out him and the Senate and the Congress. They're trying to do this gut to Social Security and Medicaid and all this how it's going to affect millions and millions of people. And I didn't think I would watch it as long as I did, but I watched. But it's like you still watching? I'm like I watched for at least about 3 hours, and it was really interesting because they gave a lot of detail on the things that they're trying to do. This bill they're going to try to pass and pretty much gut Social Security. I mean, how do you try to gut something like that? What in your mind makes you think that that's possible? That you don't even care about the senior citizens, none of that. I mean, you're a senior citizen your damn self. You just happen to
I
have money,
mean,
but go ahead.
I keep paying into Social Security, which is probably something I'll never see in my life.
No,
Only
that's not true.
because, well, unless we do something politically to save it, it's been eroding over the last 20 years because people are living longer, and a lot of folk are claiming Social Security earlier because they don't believe that they'll be able to get their full Social
Well,
Security. So
right. Now, yeah, because I think if you talk
it's
about
a
retirement
Ponzi
age,
scheme at this point.
if you talk about retirement age, you talk about like because I think hell, mine was 78. I think my
Yeah.
retirement age is 78.
Well, mine is
And there
definitely.
ain't a fight man in my family that's lived that long.
Like a fight. Hush.
There hasn't been.
Okay, I'm just saying. Honestly, if yours is 78,
Yeah.
okay, I'm 25 years younger than you. Guess what? That. So I
Well,
might as well just go get rich and sit back and chill. I ain't gonna never see it.
well, now y'all might be right there. That's what I said. So we all know we got to keep working. I said at least until when I first started working and I first started paying into Social Security, I was like, "What's my retirement age?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Damn!" So can you imagine like you like in your like early 20s or your early late teens, and you like 78? Damn.
Look,
Okay.
the last time I looked at mine when I said it said I think it said 8. That was I think I was like early 20s. That thing now is death. Okay, just let it go.
Yeah. Like I said, mine was way past 68. I know that much. I was like, "What?"
That probably ain't been 68 since grandma started getting.
Yeah, so there y'all go. So it's still like you said the Medicaid that people need, and like for people who have children are disabled or whatever for whatever reason, they need that assistance. So if you to go in there to do that, I mean, you're just inhuman. I mean, the man is just not human. I mean, you just can't just start cutting from something that's been a part of the fabric of the country since its inception, pretty much. You can't do that.
I have an idea. Let's cut your salary.
No, I said let's not pay you. Let's not pay you.
That's what I mean.
Right. Let's not pay you. But you remember he said the first term he wasn't going to accept a check. He's still accepting a check.
Yep.
He's still accepting a check.
That's
So you
right.
accepting a check. You flying around in the airplane while I got to put fuel in it. You're eating the food I put on the table at the White House. And you're walking on the lawn that I have to pay for. So you know what? I'm gonna need you to shut the f up. I'm gonna need you to shut up. Unless you're gonna turn over and get rid of your check, you shouldn't be trying to worry about taking somebody else's money away. Because they have forgotten that they work for us. They have forgotten that they work for us. We don't work for you. And that's what
Donald Trump Donald
That
Trump
was
said that he's not receiving the money that the salary from being the president.
now
He
who
he
believed that?
donate he donates that and gives that away. It's not he doesn't need that money.
Yeah, well, you know what? Show us proof that you donated, that you give it
Now
away.
his first term he did show proof. He picked a organization to give the funds to each month. The monthly salary part he gave it to a different organization. Now in the second term he disclosed
Because
that
he probably giving
information.
that to he probably giving that to Melania.
But it has been said
He
Melania
probably
don't
giving that
need
check
that
to
money.
Melania. Cause I know
Melania
she
don't need
on
that money.
payroll.
She's
But she
able
on payroll.
to sunbathe, and the woman can't speak
And, and
English. I don't
and
even
only
know that
show
she
up.
knows that she's the first lady. I don't even know that she thought in the 4 years that she wasn't the first lady of the country. I think Donald Trump just told her we're taking a 4 year vacation and we'll
You
move
know
back in the
what?
White House later.
I was just saying, in her defense, she didn't want it, so she's like, I'm not doing anything.
With,
At least she's upfront. I ain't gonna do
right,
nothing.
and she has come out pretty much and said that. So that was it. She on the pay, so he got to go somewhere, and it has to be a part. Then she shows up. Otherwise, I don't even think she takes up a space in the White House because she's in New York with her son.
Yeah.
She's not even at the White House, not at all.
90%.
Yeah. She
But before we continue, going back to sports, so Shaquille O'Neal has agreed to become the men's basketball general manager of Sacramento State.
You hear that, Dr. Fight?
Yeah, it's another NIL ploy to raise funds and to get players to come.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, Shaq. Okay. Shaq is a big boy, but okay. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Shaq got a lot of money too.
Shaq got a lot. Shaq got a lot of money.
Okay, can we just put Miami out of their misery?
Listen,
It's 72 to
Cleveland
33 at halftime.
it say what now?
72-33.
Yeah.
Cleveland beating Cleveland beating the Heat that
Yes.
bad? Yikes!
Yeah, I was like, that's like a final score. And they only at halftime. Okay, then.
They scored.
72-33. Yo, that's
They
almost
scored.
40 points, 39 points.
They scored. So here's the breakdown. Cavaliers scored 43 in the first quarter, 29 in the second quarter. The Miami Heat scored 17 in the first quarter and 16 in the second quarter.
So wait, after the first quarter, it was 43-17.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bro,
they need to implement a mercy rule just in that. My God.
bro, I've never been a proponent of a running clock.
But just run that. Don't even worry about no fouls, nothing. Just end it.
He said just run the clock.
Just end it.
I've never been a fan of the running clock. But I think this is probably about one of the
I
one
know
reasons why you got
that's
one.
like a final number to me, like the final game, the end score.
No, that's a college score. Because everybody just end it, okay? Just mercy rule. Just have mercy.
Man, listen. Just at halftime, have the players just take a shower and
That is
get the
halftime.
jet on
It's halftime right now.
my
Oh boy. Well, maybe they're gonna take their halftime. They're gonna get themselves together, and they're gonna come out and they're gonna play ball.
Ain't no getting together with that. That just needs to be over.
I don't know what Dr. Fight said.
Over. OVER.
Yeah.
do
Well,
what
they
JJ
need to break.
Redick did. Just pay the same players the second half. Just if you the Heat, just tell your starters to take a shower, go get on the plane. We gonna play the end of the bench for the last 5 minutes, the last quarter. These last five players, we gonna play the second half, third and fourth quarter.
My God.
You know what? Leave the people alone. They're doing the best they can. Okay. Leave the people alone.
They are
They
not
playing
doing the
ball.
best they can. If this is the best you can do as an NBA team, you should have never been in the playoffs.
Well, they having an off night. It's an off night.
They done had
Off
4 off
night.
nights.
Well,
Yeah. I don't have they beat have they beat Cleveland?
No, they're about to get swept.
Yeah.
So this is the last game before they get swept.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
gone
they
finish.
might be the first team going fishing. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and put that graphic up on the screen.
My God. Have some pride about yourself. My God.
They had a rough season. They're tired. It's the playoff. They're like, we just want to rest and get through our season. Okay, they're tired.
Fine. You're millionaires.
It don't mean that they're not tired. They tired.
I don't care. That's horrible.
Look, they're not tired. They tired. Okay, they tired.
Well, I just got tired looking at that score.
They tired. Okay.
72-33 at half.
Mm-mm.
Get to work early.
Y'all crazy.
Oh my God.
All right, that's fine. Did you have yours today?
He sent it to me.
All right, let's get to Dr. Fite. We passed Dr. Fite second, but let's get to it anyway.
Well, you threw us off with sports first.
I know, yeah, you all ain't bounced back since something.
Yeah, I just got back home from my son's practice, so I'll be on my laptop.
Okay, go ahead and let's see Dr. Fite's segment. Here it is on the couch with Dr. Fite.
You know he have to set it up. Now give him a seat.
I know, on the couch with Dr. Fite is coming up, people, and we're gonna see what that is. And while we're talking about that, over I think Friday it happened. I think Wendy Williams reached out to Reverend Al. Wendy has been in this conservatorship that she calls hell. And so she reached out. I found Reverend Al's phone number. Reached out. He said, Reverend Al said, I said, hello. And she said, hello, Reverend. This is Wendy Williams. And so she was telling him that she wanted to meet with him and talk to him. So he went to where she's living, and they had a conversation. I guess she's enlisting Reverend Al in this conservatorship battle that she's been dealing with. For some time. She's saying that Wendy has put out statements and saying, talking about she has this frontal lobe issue or whatever, where she can't remember anything. She said that's a lie. There's nothing wrong with her. She said they're just trying to keep her in conservatorship and keep her money. But I guess it's like a high-end luxury wherever she is. But anyway, so Reverend Al dropped what he was doing and went to see her. He didn't discuss what they had talked about. But I'm sure that we'll find out more as the weeks go on, how he's going to assist Wendy Williams. So good luck, Wendy. Good luck, Reverend Al. All right. What's this, Dr. Fite? Oh Lord.
Listen. Y'all seen this show? This Pop the Balloon show.
Oh, I saw it on I saw Tamron talking about it on her show on Tamron Hall. Popped up balloon when they feel like they're making a connection. I think it's stupid.
It's on Netflix. Now, granted, when the show first aired or whatever, I thought that they were genuinely trying to find love for people. Until I kept seeing this same buffoon on here every other episode. So this gentleman is asked a question from a young lady. What's your idea first date? Now, first of all, let me just talk to y'all real quick. Y'all need to stop sending me this foolishness. Okay, you hear me? Because there ain't no clarity in this chaos. I'm gonna go ahead and admit it right now. I ain't got no clarity for this.
There's no clarity in the chaos.
And really, I only show the ones that's been sent to me like 3 and 4 times.
And this is one of those.
Yes.
Okay. You want me hit? Let me hit play. Let me see.
First thing I'm gonna do. Pardon my voice, man. First thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you shopping for something to wear. I'm gonna get your hair done, get your nails done, pick you up in my double R. Probably got 1,000 roses in the Rolls Royce. After that, shit, we gonna just go with the day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, for real. So we gonna just go with the day. That's if we in the city. If we not taking no trip. Like I said, I'm pick you up, double R, roses, all that, the whole thing. You done got your hair done, nails done, you dressed to impress, whatever. We both looking good. We gonna go out to eat, fine dining. We might go to a club. And pop shit, have fun. And then after that, you know, we might just go get some massages or something like that. I think that's a perfect date.
Okay. You know who balloons you gonna pop already? Okay. Why did you have your balloon unpop?
I was really just being entertaining for real.
Okay. So
I'm just keeping it real.
why were you going to pop his balloon?
Just because it was like the stuff he mentioned, like the the need to like mention like the brands, cars and stuff like that. It's not really necessary to get a woman or to get me for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more laid back than that.
You said if it's my girl and we're in a relationship.
That's fine, but it's like you could have said I'm gonna pick you up, like I'm gonna pick you up in this or not. It's okay. Right?
I'm gonna keep
That's
it
your
real.
style. I see that that's your
No.
style. You look pretty flashy, like that's your style probably.
It's cool. I'm just saying I wouldn't have dated you anyway.
Okay.
Cause you got the makeup on your shirt.
Yeah.
And you got like lipstick on your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you got like a blood clot in your eye.
Yeah.
So
I'm a barber.
no,
and
and it's
some hair got in my eye.
I'm not trying to be funny.
It's just like
I was just paying attention.
you saying things that don't add up to nothing else.
No, I was just.
But it was giving Fugazi though, Bookie.
Hold on, wait a
You
minute.
ready?
Let her come back.
Yeah.
You said it's giving what?
Fugazi.
What would that be?
I'm gonna get into that.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We doing all this on a date? We going shopping, get my nails done, hair done. First of all, what time the date start? Then you talking about showing up with 1,000 roses. Nigga, where am I gonna sit at? Then we may go out to eat, go to a club, and get massages? Bro, the day was over after I got my nails done. So does this roll over to the next day? And ain't this the same dude from the other Pop the Balloon? The Mozzie dude that was lying about being in that private jet? Child, and the other man in the back calling Cap. Even the glasses look photoshopped. This man said all that just to dog the girl out in the end. Y'all know in the video games where you gotta fight the big boss, this nigga is the final boss of the Pop the Balloon. Ain't no way you doing all that on no date. But what y'all think? Y'all going for it?
Okay, you take it off. Okay, what in the Sanskrit? What is what? And then and you can tell that he's so full of crap. Then you decide to talk about the girl. Oh, you got makeup on your collar. You got lipstick on your teeth. I mean, you are so petty. That's how you roll. But even if he had that kind of money, Rolls Royce, you ignorant. You can't even speak. You can't even convey the kind of date that you really want to take a woman on or whatever. So I just want him to stop talking. I really just want him to stop talking. And and I'm gonna be out. There was no clarity. Well, no. There kind of was some clarity there. No, there was. You a trip. You full of you FOS, and stop talking to me. So there the clarity was in that one. There the clarity was. I mean, he was absolutely insane.
Well, so this is what I'll say in regards to clarity. First of all, I don't think these shows, and I know Elle's gonna be a little biased, but Love at First Sight, Popping Balloons, 90-Day Marriage, all of these shows, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, none of these shows really show you a successful way to get in a relationship and that relationship is sustained. Now, granted, you can meet somebody in the bar, in church, at the grocery store, and those relationships are not sustained also, which shows us that relationships are hard. They are not easy. Like anytime you get with somebody that from a different walk of life and have a different way of thinking and a different way of living, and you're trying to coexist together, that is difficult. That takes work. That takes a lot of sacrifice. That takes a lot for each individual to be able to work with one another, to be able to make that relationship work. And then sometimes people make bad choices in relationships, and you got to ask yourself, do I want to live with your bad choice, or am I willing to accept you because this is maybe a one-off on bad choice, but you're actually a good person and not going to do that again? Like, all of these things are factors and considerations in relationships. And when you go on these kind of shows, you meet buffoons like this. There's no different than meeting a buffoon at church, meeting a buffoon at the bar, meeting a buffoon at the club, meeting a buffoon in Walmart. Like buffoons are everywhere.
But I think when people go on like to these shows that you named, I think that they're like, I've done the in-person stuff. So now I want to try something different that maybe I'll have a better outcome. That's why I think people really go on these shows. They're tired of the whole like bar scene or meeting in the grocery store. They said this is something different. So that's why they do it. Now and then you find out what your differences are. I got a question for you, Dr. Fite. When you meet somebody for the first time, what is the first question you would ask someone that meet them the first time?
Oh, question I would ask someone on the first time getting to know them.
What would be your first question meeting that person? What would be your first question even?
I mean, I was just asking them to tell me about themselves. Like, where you from? What's your? I mean,
that's a loaded question. What do you mean? What do you want to know? That's better answer. My responsibility. What do you
no,
want to know?
because no, that question is poignant to what you think about yourself. If I say, tell me about yourself, and the first thing you do is tell me what you do, like, oh, I'm an accountant. That means to me that your work life, how you prioritize, how you hear the question is how you prioritize. See, one of the main problems that a lot of women have is they have closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions gear you to a yes or no or a this or that type of response instead of an open-ended question. See, the thing is, an open-ended question that a woman asks, which I think is one of the worst questions that she can ask, is what are your 5-year goals? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's a horrible question.
Yeah, I don't even ask that. I've never asked that. I never asked that question.
It's a horrible question from the standpoint that it perpetuates a representative because no one knows where they're going to be in 5 years.
That is correct.
Nobody knows. So the ideology of where I would like to be versus if it come to pass or not, you're sold off an idea and not factuals.
Because say you all stay together and then 5 years come along and you like that person still has not lived up to those goals that they said where I'm going to be in 5 years. Then what do you do?
Right. I mean, and granted, I'm 5 years way overdue from when I met my wife, but I am probably a lot further along in what I thought I would be in my life today than I thought that I would be when I first met my wife. Like, granted, we've been together going on 26 years, but the thing is, I had a certain thought about my life before I got with her, and I didn't think I was going to not be successful, but I think I am better off than the idea I had at 17 years old.
I would say so.
So the thing for me is that questions gotta be deeper than just seeking for a response. Like, for me, that's why my first thing is tell me about yourself, because wherever you start and wherever you finish speaks to hierarchy. It speaks to what's important to you. It's a loaded question. It's for me, just giving you a loaded question, I can now psychologically analyze everything that you said based off of how you put the events and the words you use to describe those events.
See, when you said that, now I have kind of asked that question in a roundabout way, because I think when you ask it so direct the way you did, it sounds like an interview. But I know, I mean, it is you. I mean, you kind of interviewing for it to be in a relationship or one of days. So I get that, but I try to not make it so business when you ask that question. Tell me about yourself.
I'm all about business. I'm a matter.
I'm like, what are your likes? What are your dislikes? What is? Because I got this is interesting question for me. Do you think people have to have the same religious background in order to be together?
Yes.
You think so?
For me, yes.
Oh, for you, okay, yeah.
We get up, I'm calling Jesus. If you call anybody other than that, it ain't gonna work.
Well, I asked that question because let me just say I've been approached. I'm dating somebody anyway, but they're Catholic, and I'm not.
That's a little different.
That's a little different, right?
Catholics, granted, they have some funny theologies.
Yeah.
They still believe in Christ.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know that I can do the communion every week, but and I don't think Mary is the fourth part of the Trinity. Like, I'm not saying no Hail Marys. I'm not going into a booth confessing my sins to somebody that's got sins also. I mean, there's just a few things that I'm just not doing. I mean, when Jesus died, the veil in the temple was ripped in two, so that we all can have access to the throne. Right, I don't need to go to the priest to pray for me to say a few Hail Marys to be forgiven of my sins. No, I can go directly to pray to Jesus myself and ask you to forgive me.
That is true. Well, I was because that was a question I would yes, and I was like, oh, I forgot I didn't even ask that question. So and so the religious thing came up, and I was like, oh. And I kind of figured that the person is Catholic, but I just thought I would ask for clarification for myself. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was like, wait, are you? I was like, no. I said, no, I'm not. But I've been around people that's Catholic. I've been to a Catholic, so I'm not. It's not something that I'm fearful of or that I don't have any understanding about.
Well, see, it's difficult to ask me that question only because, first of all, I'm a pastor. So anybody that's with me, you going to the church I'm going to. If you not, then this ain't gonna work because you know what I'm saying. I gotta be able, if I'm married and I tell my members I'm married and they don't never see my wife because she going to another church on Sunday morning, then what's wrong with y'all relationship? That now, granted, a couple of pastors before me at my current church I am, his wife was Baptist. And while he was pastor in this Methodist church, she went to her Baptist church on Sunday morning.
There's some people like in my church like that too. I see you'll never see their husband because they go to a different church. Yeah. Or they go to a different church.
That work for some people. That don't work for me.
Yeah, I think I would prefer. Well, I'm not gonna say that you would have to give up your religion, to be with me. I can't. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think you would have to spend time maybe at both churches at some point. Well, maybe this month we're gonna go here, and then over this next month we'll go over here. So maybe you can work it that way.
That don't work for me.
Listen, when one of my deacons like years ago came and said he wonderful deacon, wonderful person, always love God, always talks about God, but his wife was not a believer. I was like, how they together? They have been together for years, but she just did not believe the same thing he believed, and I was like, wow, really? And he was a wonderful deacon, knew the Bible through and through. I mean, just a wonderful light of a person. And that his wife so I'm sitting around talking to other members. I'm like, how that work for them? How he married to her? How long they been married? Because I couldn't believe it. I had never heard of such a thing. How you marry somebody who's not a believer that don't believe the same thing you believe? And I never saw that woman come up in church. Nope, never did. I don't know how. So you don't think people that have separate religions that they're not equally yoked?
Look, equally yoked, I think, speaks to faith. Like, do we share the same faith? Do we believe that this deity is Jesus Christ? Now, the polity about whether we believe in Jesus Christ as Methodist, as Baptist, as Pentecostals, as Presbyterians, or whatever the case may be, depending on who you are in your faith will determine on if you can work with that or if that works for you. For me, I'm a pastor. So I would want, if we were in a long-lasting relationship, for you to attend the church that I pastor. That's just me. Now, I'm not saying that that's a general rule for all people, because I got members of my church who are married and their spouse goes to a different church and it works for them. I'm not knocking that. I think that's whatever works for you. But as for me, in my house, when we get up on Sunday morning, we going to the same place.
And you know what? And I can applaud you saying that, but over the years, I've realized that that's not everyone. So I'm not gonna be mad at you like that. And I have many friends that go to church, and like I said, my friend, her husband is a deacon at another church, and she come to church where we go to church at. But like certain events that happen at the church, he comes there. I mean, he'll come there and be supportive of her, whatever's going on at the church. But Dr. Fight, what he do? What you add? What I got to do here? Dr. Fight sent me something. What he do?
No, you sent this to me.
Oh yes, I did.
Since you talking about pastors and going to the same church and
Yes,
all
I
these
did.
things, you sent this to me. Kelly still helps pastor husband get ready for dates with his side chicks.
Yes. What you think about that?
What you mean? What I think
What
about
you
that?
think? I mean, I thought this was
Foolishness.
like right here.
Some foolishness. Finding out that her spouse is cheating among the worst things a spouse may learn. In order to save their marriage, one lady helps her husband get dressed for his dates, even though she knew and accepted that he was cheating, rather than becoming upset or ending their marriage. In their 32-year marriage, Kelly and Reginald Steele have been many highs and lows. According to the news.com/AU, the high school sweethearts acknowledged that there had been adultery in their marriage from the start in a recent episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. This is a picture of the two of them.
And she's a beautiful woman.
That's her.
But why accept that? Why accept that? And he's a pastor.
When they learned that Kelly was expecting, they were married in 1993. In the episode, Reginald, the founder of Phoenix, Arizona's Kingdom Church, acknowledged that he would chastise his wife for not sharing his beliefs. However, his wife was rather hypocritical in his day because soon after marriage, he allegedly left this holy lifestyle and returned to drinks, smoking weed, and chasing women. Kelly explains how God influenced her to let her pastor husband have affairs. Wait a minute. Kelly explains how God influenced her.
Now she knows she lied. She knows she lied. She knows she lied. And don't be lying on God like that. Don't be lying on God.
And on God. God influenced her to let her husband have affairs.
She's lying on God.
Kelly claimed to have had a radical heart shift from that moment following a few sacred conversations with God. I just changed completely as a person, she said. As Kelly allowed her husband to indulge in his wandering eye, the two became closer. I would tell her that although you are my starter, I have other players on the bench, Reginald remarked.
Stop it.
His wife agreed. As long as I was first, I was fine with it. Even though he would go out on the weekends, the lawyer wife claimed that she would practically assist him in getting ready for the evening by ironing his clothes. I didn't want him to be lost, she said. With so many women at his disposal, the podcast host wondered why Reginald continued to choose his wife. His answer, it wasn't as deep as one could have imagined. She lived down the street, but all the other girlfriends lived 30 minutes away. She would also feed me and give me money. The couple acknowledged
Shut your mouth.
You sent this to me.
Because I read this is a Dr. Fight thing right here.
The couple acknowledged that all of these antics occurred during the first several years of their marriage, even if they did not specify whether heating. Well, I guess they meant cheating is still occurring in their union.
Okay. First of all, she just lied on God. Okay, lady, what happened in your life? That and I can see if he was like you said, oh, he's fine, that's a good looking man, but he's not. And she's a beautiful woman. So what you do? Tell him, baby, what plans you have to take the other woman out for dinner. So this is the suit or whatever that you need to wear for this date. What kind of madness is that? They are not equally yoked. Let's just be clear on that. They are not equally yoked. And if you want to call them say they're equally yoked, then that's some yoke that I want no part of. No part of that yoke. I want no part of that yoke. None. Wow.
Oh.
How desperate do you have to be? And they've been together how many years? 20-something years? 30 years?
Yeah. 32-year marriage.
32-year marriage, and he has cheated the entire marriage.
It does not say that. They said this
That's
happened in the first
I know.
several years of their marriage.
I'm making a judgment, an assumption that yeah, she said because a few years into the marriage she found out. But let's be clear, he never stopped dating when they got married. He never stopped dating. And so now they just
He could have evolved and said that, or he could have gotten older and now women don't want him because, they know that there's only a handful of women in this world that want to share a man with somebody else. Most women want their own man.
That is correct.
And once they find out that you already married and you with somebody and you just whatever thing y'all got going on, she ain't gonna have you to herself. She might exploit you for what she can get from you, but she probably won't.
I feel sorry for any woman that feels like they can't find a man, and you're so desperate that man says, well, babe, we need to look outside the relationship so that we can evolve as a couple. You can evolve by yourself, because that's not happening for me. I don't like to share. I didn't like sharing as a child. I'm a grown ass woman. I don't like to share.
We're not talking about a bag of M&Ms. We talking about a human being.
Grown ass woman. I'm not
sharing as a child. You weren't dating as a child either.
I'm just saying I didn't like to share then, and I don't like to share now.
We're not talking about the Skittles.
That's a no-go for me. That's a no-go.
We're not talking about that.
But I see so many women and so many doing relationships now where they're saying, they're saying that is like, you know what, I want to explore more and bring a third person into the relationship. If you have to bring someone else into the relationship, that one that you're in, it's not working. It's just that simple. It's not working. So you need to go find someone of your own who only wants to be with you, because that's not me. I don't float that boat. I can't float that boat. You go be with somebody else. You go be with as many people as you want to, because I'm not. That's just nasty.
Elle, you should not internalize this story, because she says the story states that Kelly explains how God influenced her to let her.
You to stop saying that because I'm going to need you to stop saying that because she's lying.
I'm not. What you mean you gonna need me to stop saying it?
No, she's lying.
First of all, let's go ahead and get a couple of facts about this. Number one, you sent this to me, so this is your story. All right, that's first thing. Second of all, this is what it says. It's not what I say. This is what she says.
I'm still saying she's lying, and because she's trying to justify in her mind why she has allowed this man to do these things to her. So now you're gonna put God in that. Okay.
Kelly said,
now you know what? In her mind, maybe
God spoke to her.
Maybe God did. Who am I to say otherwise? Who am I to say otherwise? Who am I to say otherwise? I don't know. I just know it's not something I would do. Okay. So good luck to her and Big Papa. Because And she don't realize that if she got rid of him and let him go, the right man will come into her life. The right man will come into her life. And she was like, what was I doing so long waiting for him? I don't know, sweetie pie. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, let's get this wrapped up for the evening. Okay, today is Monday. Thursday, 911 comes back on. And it's going to be the funeral of Robert Nash. You all know about a couple weeks ago, they killed my man off of 911. Hurt my feelings really, really bad. I cried hard. It was a hard cry. It was a hard, ugly cry. Now I'm gonna try not to cry so hard and ugly this Thursday, Lord willing. But we got to say bye to Bobby's character. Now I'm a little pissed off about it, and everyone has been upset about it. Even people were coming at Angela Bassett online because she was just like, we thank all of our fans who enjoy watching the show and watching Athena and Bobby have their love evolved and grew and whatever, but wish him good luck in the future. I'm like, people like, we ain't trying to hear that. They literally was talking back to her, said, we're not trying to hear that. We want you all to wake up in the fall and say it was a bad dream, or bring on a Bobby twin or something. We're not trying to hear that you all killing like this character. And I agree. I love Bobby and Athena together on 911. So now I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to put on my shades in the house. It's gonna be about 8 o'clock at night. But I'm gonna have to try not to cry in front of Oh my God, this is gonna be terrible. This is gonna be a tearjerker. Dr. Fight, have you caught up on it? I'm gonna need you to watch it on Thursday, Dr. Fight. You said you had lost it, but I'm gonna need you to catch up on it.
I'm sorry. I got a whole like multiple jobs in my life. So
Dr. Fight, that is
I have TV time.
That is 7 o'clock in the evening.
I don't have TV time. Matter of fact, it's 9:20 right now in the East Coast part of the state, and I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at television.
But I'm gonna need you to record it and watch it. Just
I don't need to record it. I have it on. What is it? Is it a CBS show?
No, it's ABC.
ABC. Okay, yeah, and still, I have it on demand. I can watch all the seasons.
Okay, watch it then. So tell me what you think about it.
I don't need to record it. I can watch it, like, because I pay for whatever streaming service that airs it. So I don't really need.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to watch it. I want to get your thoughts on it. So I'm gonna need you to watch it. You got a whole week because it come on Thursday, and you literally got a whole week to watch it. So you got to watch it was a 2-parter. So you get to watch the first part, and then you want to get the second part, and then the following week is gonna be the season finale. So I need you to take care of that. Okay. I want your thoughts on it because it's so emotional. I mean, I've never seen so many people, that has been going crazy over this ending, over this killing of a character. Feelings have really been hurt. So Ryan Murphy, you are the creator of 911. We need you to fix that. We need you to fix that. And since the season finales are going on, one more before we go, the season finales are going on. If you guys did not know, like on NBC, there was a show called oh God, what is his name? Oh my gosh, the Disillusion or Illusionment or something. Okay, anyway, with Green, the actor last name is Green, the black guy. Okay, so his show is probably gonna be canceled. My other show, a couple of shows are going to be canceled on NBC. The Irrational. The Irrational is going to be canceled. They said more than likely. Found. Now that was with what's his name from Saved by the Bell. That's him. They saying that is on the bubble to be canceled. Look, don't y'all cancel Found. I like Found. That's what she had. The man he had kidnapped her when she was a child, and he kept her for a while. He kept her for a while, but then she as an adult, she caught him and locked him in a cage in her basement. But it's really strange because he's obsessed with her for whatever reason, and so she tries to find these missing people, and he's always like trying to lend her a hand. But anyway, he's in jail right now. So, but please don't cancel Found because I love that show too. Okay, but now Night Court they brought back Night Court. That was on the bubble for being canceled on NBC as well. I think the new Suits, that one I think they might get out a chance, but it's about 4 or 5 on NBC that's being canceled. But all of the Chicago Mayor, Chicago PD, all of those are coming back for next season, for the new season. Law and Order, SVU, I think the Law and Order, I think all those are coming back for another season. But the Irrational, I like that one, but I didn't get a chance to watch that one. That was with the what's his name? Green. I can't think his name offhand, but the black actor that he was on Law and Order for a long time. And he's had like about 2 or 3 seasons, but that one's getting the boot too. Okay. So there are cancellations for the new fall schedule. That's just breaking my heart. And CBS is just ticking me off. And CBS is my favorite network, but they really pissing me off. Just saying.
Warner Brothers executive Channing Dungey offers renewal updates about Found Season 3 and Brilliant Mind Season 2.
Oh, did you just find that?
This article is from 2 weeks ago. They got cautious renewal updates from the studio execs amid networks changing lineup. So it's they've been promised another season, but nothing has been signed.
Oh, you mean you Found, right?
For Final season 3 and Brilliant Minds season 2.
I don't even know what Brilliant Minds, because I never watched Brilliant Minds. I don't even know what that
So
was.
Brilliant Minds is you remember the show House back in the day?
Yep.
Brilliant Minds is kind of like House of modern.
Oh, okay. I think I caught maybe the first episode.
The main actor's name, but he's like House, and he has this brilliant mind, and he takes these tough cases that he tries to figure out medically.
Oh, okay. I think I watched maybe like 1 or 2 episodes of that one.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the first season, and I hadn't seen them after.
And then there's a couple of them on NBC that Hunt something.
But my wife wants me to watch. She just talked about this earlier today. She wants me to watch this Morris Chestnut show. This on, I think, CBS.
It's on CBS. Oh God, Dr. Watson. It's Watson. You know what? I watched like the first episode, but first of all, it comes on at an odd time. But I tried to get into it, and I love Morris Chestnut. I just ain't been able to really get into it. But I love him as an actor. But I ain't able to get into it. I don't think it's poorly written or anything. It just has not really caught my attention. So that one might be on the bubble too. I don't know. But I don't think you should cancel any show after just one season, like they did Damon Wayans' show, Papa's House. Papa's House only had 1 season. And I think if it had given at least 2 more seasons, then it would have more viewers. You would be ready to draw people in. You just can't see what's happened on one season.
But I think the thing what a lot of people got to understand about these decisions is they're financial. Like the thing is, when you look at these call sheets or these casting sheets, and you have the Wayans, they're asking for like top dollar.
Right.
They're not asking for first year actors on this show. They're asking for movie deals basically for the entire season.
Yeah.
You're asking for anywhere from $7 to $10 million. And the network has to be able to justify that in advertising. And if they're not making the kind of money because advertising is not drawn to the network to watch you at this particular time, and if they don't make the kind of money they need to make, then we got to either renegotiate this or we got to cancel this after the season is over with. And a lot of times these contracts don't get renewed because you price yourself out and the show is doing well. So we want to keep the show. We just can't keep you on it.
That's just like The Neighborhood with Cedric the Entertainer and Tashina Arnold. Their ratings are solid. But I'm like, just like you said, I think when it comes to contract negotiation, when you talk about Cedric the Entertainer and Tashina Arnold, I'm sure that their numbers is up there.
They're asking for top dollar, right?
But when you carry the show for 8 seasons, for 7 successful seasons, to me, you have a right to ask for that number.
Yeah, but you can't ask for a number to get your show canceled or to get you canceled off the show.
That's just why I think Queen Latifah, they're still in negotiation about her show, The Equalizer. So she is.
My wife loves that show, by the way.
Oh, it's Equalizer, and so they're saying that she's already said that she'll take a pay cut. She said she'll take a pay cut, but she wants to come on and at least finish the last a final season. So we don't even know still what's going to happen with The Equalizer. I do like The Equalizer because she kicked butt in there. I do like her that show. Yeah. So we'll see if Queen Latifah comes back, but they're getting rid of a lot of our black cast shows, and I don't like that, because as long as the black person said we're gonna take less money, then you keep them on for less money. But when they start saying no, you need to pay me what I'm worth, then you want to cancel out their shows.
Listen, now granted, I know it was HBO, but when they had them 4 white women, Sex in the City.
Sex in the City. Don't talk about my Sex in the City.
But I'm just saying. They had a blank check for Sex in the City.
But Dr. Mike, now
Wardrobe.
you talking about network TV versus HBO?
And that's why I started off by saying I know it was HBO.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
these white women had a blank check and really were able to shift culture for a whole generation of young girls who wanted to dress in that chic and that fabulous upspeed lifestyle in big city and have all these dates and all this high profile stuff going. Like that shaped culture at that time, and nobody ever thought that, oh man, we gotta financially make decisions whether or not to keep this show on air or not. No, they're now coming out with movies
right on like what
spin-offs and all kind of stuff, only because they gave it the finances in order to shape a culture. But even back in the day, when you look at shows like Saved by the Bell, Family Matters, and different shows, like they let the cast, become a larger than life. And only real major actor from those shows back then, probably Malcolm Jamal Warner from his time. He's established a great acting career. Tisha Arnold from Martin has gotten a wonderful career. You thought her counterpart, her friend on the Martin show, what was her name? Tisha Campbell was going to have a great career because she was with the Wayans in My Wife and Kids.
Right.
And that was a great show, but she hasn't had like a movie career spark from that. You look at the people from Saved by the Bell, Zach Morrison, but the Hispanic guy, which he's not Hispanic.
Yes, he is. What's his name?
Lord. Oh,
Mario Lopez. He's had a pretty decent, entertainment career. He's hosted a few things, been in a few movies. He's done some things. I think he's in the new well, it's not new now. I think they've canceled it. It's only had like 2 seasons or so. Mixed-ish. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
It was a spinoff of Blackish and Grownish.
Yeah, right. You're talking about Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Okay, that was Mark Paul Gosselaar. All right.
Yeah.
But for Hispanics, email me, just know that I don't think that all Hispanics look alike. Okay.
I mean, he was not Hispanic anyway. He like half some everything else. Mark Paul.
Like mixed-ish. But Kelly explains how God influenced her to let her pastor husband have affairs.
Well, good luck with that, Kelly. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, you do you. That's all I'm saying. Do you? But women, to me, when women do that, when they open themselves up to other people coming in their relationship, you're saying that you're not enough. And I disagree with that. If I'm not enough for you, then you are free to shop and go and find what is enough for you. But I don't share. All right. There you all have it. There's another great episode of something to talk about. We talk about some everything this evening. Now we'll find out what's going to happen after the NBA starts their draft. But good luck, Shador, because I think you're good. I don't think you're going to be where you are right now. Good luck with that. I don't think so. I have no clue. All right, Dr. Fite, you guys, all of those, make sure you guys follow us. Thank you guys all on TikTok. Oh, Dr. Fite, where you at on TikTok? What are your numbers on TikTok?
I don't know. I'm
I think I passed you.
That's fine.
But you'll catch up with. No, you got way more likes than I do. Now that department, you kicking my butt right there. But
that's fine.
But I guess I gotta work on the likes. All right.
Yeah, I got 1,077, and I got over 4,000 likes.
You got 1,000 already?
I got 1,000 followers.
Where did you get that?
I'm telling you, these Monday morning motivations, people love them. They share them, and then they like me. They want to subscribe. They want to get the update.
No, if I could reach through and just choke his neck, I would. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm right behind him. Then I'm right behind him.
I mean, I got over 5,000. I got 5,000 friends on Facebook, and another 2,700 followers on Facebook. So if all of them just come to TikTok, then I mean I'll be all right. But we got some people that's not on TikTok. So I got a whole new audience now. My church, my young members at the church say, "Oh, Dr. Fite ain't he on TikTok." I was like, hopping on hip.
All right, so there you all go. You all follow us on TikTok. I'm having fun on TikTok, honestly. But Facebook, I have like maybe 3,000 on Facebook, and I don't really even do much on there. You know, so our YouTube channel is growing. Instagram, Facebook, not Facebook, TikTok is growing. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. It's gonna keep on growing. All right, actually, you because you're an hour behind. You're an hour ahead of me. So go. Good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat dinner.
Wow, really? Just now?
Yeah, because I've been on here talking to you. My wife got my plate in the microwave.
Oh, what you eating? Before you go, what you eat?
She put some chicken into the slow cooker.
Oh, so you
Yes,
got some.
while I was working from home today, it was smelling good as the day was going on.
I was going that's some nice juicy chicken right about now.
Probably falling off the bone.
All right, well, enjoy and have a good night and enjoy the rest of the week.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Okay, you too. Peace out. And you do what you do? What you thinking?
Peace and hair grease. I mean, peace up 8 times down.
Okay, I'm gonna